Man, this shit is trying to fuck with a pimp's connection this evening, I see. Some bullshit. Boy, they trying to come against this game. We back at it once again. My apologies for the interruptions, the bad connection and whatnot, but I guess I had to start it over again in order to get it right. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me fine. Goldie, what's up with it, man? Blessings to yourself as well. Much appreciated. Elena, peace and blessings to you as well. Okay. We back at it, man. Yeah, like I said, I want to chop it up about what a hoe is supposed to like. Because being an active gentleman in this gang, I see a lot of misrepresentation. I see a lot of subpar representation. I just got to keep it all the way real. You know what I mean? I got my blade out tonight, and I know I might cut a few people. I might hurt a few people's feelings, but I got to come with the brutal honesty tonight. So it is what it is. You might want to call it tough love, because ultimately it's for everybody, that's involved to want to step their game up, the ladies as well as the gentlemen. But this message is targeted towards the ladies to give you an understanding of what you're supposed to like as far as a man in this game goes. One thing that you definitely should like, first and foremost, is a motherfucker that's fly. Me, myself, as long as I've been in the game and even before I was in the game, I have never seen a pimp who was not fly. Pimping and flyness is synonymous with each other. It's like peanut butter and jelly, milk and cereal, anything else that goes together. Pimping and flyness just go hand in hand. It's like you can't have one without the other. And like I said, when I was coming up in the game, it was normal shit. It was fundamental shit. It was basic shit for the pimping to be fly. Basic as far as, the game goes, but it wasn't basic in the general sense, but it was just basic shit. Pimps just wanted to be fly, and they took their time to be fly. You know what I mean? Kept themselves well groomed, well dressed. It don't even necessarily have to be, how I am right now with the suit and tie get down or anything like that, but just flyness. Something that's gonna catch the eye, something that's gonna grab your attention. Fly shit. This is just some normal shit for the pimping. And I just gotta be all the way 100. It's a lot of motherfuckers in this game calling themselves pimps that just not even, they just don't have a fly bone in their body. They couldn't be fly to save their lives. If their lives depended on being fly, they'll drop dead on the spot immediately. It's a lot of motherfuckers that call themselves the pimping, and you'll never see them get fly. And furthermore, flyness is got more to do with just the external. It got more to do with just the appearance. Flyness is in your nature. It's just in the way that you carry yourself. You just got a fly demeanor about yourself when you really a fly motherfucker. Because you can see certain people put on some clothes that's fly, but they just don't have a fly nature about themselves. Give you an example. I know certain cats that may dress nice and their appearance is fly, but their behavior is not fly. If you go to a 5-star classy restaurant with them, they table manners is fucked up. You know what I mean? They spilling food all on the side of their plate. Shit that they should be eating with a fork, they eating with a spoon. just they language in this classy 5-star restaurant. You know what I mean? They loud and they cussing and they just not fly. You know what I mean? Because another thing, flyness and classiness go hand in hand with each other. You know what I mean? So a motherfucker might dress like how I'm dressed right now, but their behavior isn't that of a fly individual. You know what I mean? And that's the thing about this pimping. The pimping want to be the best. Like me right now, you see the way that I'm dressed, but not just only am I dressed like this, I behave as you would expect me to behave based on the way that I look. You know what I mean? I don't just look fly, I behave myself like a fly motherfucker. You dig? And when I'm in, depending on what setting I'm in, I know how to conduct myself. You know? If I'm in the streets, I know how to conduct myself like a man in the streets. If I'm in a more classy, exclusive type of setting, I know how to conduct myself in that type of setting. This is just fly shit. You dig? So, as I say, these are all things that a hoe in the game should like. You should want to represent a man in the game that's fly. You dig? A motherfucker that takes time with his appearance, takes care of himself, and conducts himself with class. A classy, fly gentleman in this game. That's what you should want to represent. But a lot of young ladies, they got their priorities mixed up. And because they got their priorities mixed up, they choose a lot of other things over the flyness. One of the main things is comfortability, and control. You want to be in control of certain things that you shouldn't be in control of, and you choose that over flyness. You'll choose a motherfucker that's completely unfly for the sake of that control or comfortability. You dig? And when I say control, first of all, I mean, being able to dictate the situation with this man, which is something that you shouldn't want to have, is the ability to dictate this man. You dig? The ability to send him, here and there and everywhere, the ability to instruct him when he's supposed to be instructing you. That's what I mean by control. You dig? That's just a tablespoon, of a glimpse of what I mean by control. But as a young lady in this game, really as a female period, you shouldn't want no man that you can control. You shouldn't want no man that you could dictate. You shouldn't want no man that you have dominion over. You just shouldn't want anything like that. And comfortability, that's another thing that a lot of young ladies choose over flyness. You dig? But this game, the success in it entails going hard, finding comfort in discomfort. That's what you got to be able to do in order to be successful in this game. But a lot of young ladies, they like being comfortable. They like half-assing what they hoeing. They like tiptoeing what they hoeing. You dig? So and they don't want to they don't want to deal with any type of pressure. But pressure, a lot of times comes in the form of challenges, and challenges make you grow. Challenges make you better. So that's what you should want. A motherfucker in the game that's not only fly, but a motherfucker that has control of the situation, that got the steering wheel and allows you to sit over there and you trust him with the steering wheel. You dig? But not just that, but a motherfucker that's not going to allow you to be comfortable. A motherfucker that's not going to be comfortable himself. That's just going to be lazy and kicking back and not pressing and not going hard and not trying to step his game up. Just relaxed and comfortable with the subpar state of the way things are at the present time. Pimpin' always want to step his game up. Pimpin' always want things to be better, not just for himself, but for his loved ones and everything else like that. You dig? So, but like I say, a lot of young ladies, they choose comfort and control, you know what I mean, over the flyness. Because a motherfucker that's fly and really pimping, you're not going to be able to control him, and you're not going to be able to just be relaxed with your hoeing like that all the time. You know what I mean? It's the time and place for everything. So we're going to have times where we stop and smell the roses. We're going to have times where we stop and relax and enjoy ourselves and everything. But it shouldn't just be a completely relaxed situation. Shouldn't be just a completely comfortable situation all day, every day, 24/7. We just comfortable. We ain't got no Go Hard in our program at all. You dig? Our Go Hard bank account is bankrupt right now. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be a situation like that ever, ever, ever in a household of pimping and hoeing. You know? But back to the challenges, back to the pressure. As a hoe in this game, you should always want to better yourself. I want somebody to tell me how you can better yourself without challenges. I don't see it to be possible. You have to challenge yourself in whatever aspect you're trying to better yourself in. When you go to school, they teach us this when we're young, and we may not be conscious of exactly what's going on, but if you think about it in retrospect, that's what was taking place from preschool or kindergarten all the way up to the 12th grade. Throughout your whole time in school, your mind is being challenged, and that's how you grow, that's how you develop, that's how you get sharper, that's how you develop your intellect, through challenges. You dig? And even with a job, if you work in a square job and that job has the potential for promotion in it, then you're going to have to challenge yourself in some sort of way in order to get that promotion, in order to climb the corporate ladder. You're not going to be able to climb the corporate ladder without challenging yourself in some sort of way. It's the same thing with this game. And we stand, most of us in this game stand to gain more than most people trying to climb the corporate ladder. We stand to gain a lot more in this game. And, furthermore, a young lady in this game, she has the power to control, and dictate and get what she wants from a motherfucker that's trying to climb the corporate ladder, or a motherfucker that already has climbed the corporate ladder. You dig? A hoe is even higher than that individual. So a hoe is in the top of the food chain when it comes, higher in the food chain between, those two. So you should be willing to take your hoeing that much more seriously. You shouldn't be afraid of challenges. Most bitches in the game is afraid of challenges nowadays, and a big part of it is because most cats in the game is scared to challenge these bitches, and the big part of the reason for that is because most cats in the game is scared to challenge themselves. They not challenging themselves in any kind of way. They not bettering themselves in any kind of way. You dig? But a young lady in this game, you should wanna fuck with somebody that's not gonna be afraid to challenge you and is not afraid to challenge himself. You dig? See, I got receipts. You know what I mean? You see this shit right here? That's receipts. You know what I mean? That motherfucker been challenged though. That's why it's big and firm, you know what I mean? And sculpted and developed the way that it is. You dig? Yeah. Challenges. You know what I mean? Challenges make you grow. They make everything better. You dig? Freeze a motherfucker to challenge itself. I challenge my mind all the time. You dig? That's why I like to read. You know what I mean? Because I like for my mind to grow and develop constantly. I want to be sharper. I want to be better today than I was yesterday. So I'm going to have to challenge myself mentally. I challenge myself physically. I challenge myself spiritually. You dig? Anybody legendary that you could think of is an individual that challenged themselves on a regular basis. You know what I mean? From the greatest athletes to the greatest singers, actors, entertainers, anybody that you could think of. Challenge. So back to this game. If you a young lady in this game, if you a hoe in this game, how you expect to be the best hoe if you don't challenge yourself? If you're not fucking with a man that challenges himself and is going to present you with challenges to help you grow in this game, how you expect to be the best hoe and have the best success? Which is something that you should want. And that's a whole nother discussion anyway, because it's sad. A lot of young ladies, speaking of wanting to be the best, a lot of young ladies don't even fathom that thought. They don't even get in the game with the idea of, I want to be the best that I can be. I want to be my best self. I want to present my best self to this game. so I can get the most that I possibly can out of it. A lot of young ladies in this game don't even have that concept. But back to the man, like I say all the time, it all starts with the man. You dig? And I feel bad for a lot of young ladies because when you come into this game, I don't give a fuck if a bitch say she a renegade or whatever the case may be. You don't need no man. You gon' fuck with a man at some point while you in this game. You gonna want some type of companionship while you in this game from a man. Now, a lot of y'all choose boyfriends. Consciously, you're aware of that fact. A lot of y'all choose tricks. You know, motherfucker who done dated you and spent money on you. A lot of y'all end up choosing somebody like that. A lot of y'all choose motherfuckers that say they a pimp but not really a pimp, and you don't know the difference because you fresh in the game. This is a new experience to you, so you don't even understand what to look for in a pimp. So you choosing a motherfucker that's just like that boyfriend or just like that trick, but he just saying he's a pimp. So you know what I mean? A lot of y'all end up going that way, but the bottom line, you should want to choose a motherfucker, like I said, a motherfucker that ain't gonna be afraid to challenge you. And the thing about it is, this is another thing, and like I said, the shit that I'm gonna say in this video is gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings. I'm pretty sure a lot of motherfuckers is gonna take it personal, but it ain't nothing personal. It's just the truth. You dig? And somebody got to speak this shit. And me, I ain't never been a motherfucker that had a problem delivering the truth. So hey, so be it. Here it is. But like I say, speaking of tricks, right? One thing about a trick is somebody who's by nature, they mastered by whatever it is they have a desire for. You dig? Is somebody who's not the master of themselves. See, the pimpin' is a motherfucker that's the master of himself. The pimpin' is the master of his assets, the master of his tools, the master of his money. The pimpin' is the master of whatever it is that he has that he's utilizing, basically. But a lot of motherfuckers that call themselves the pimpin', they're mastered by other things. You dig? And see, a young lady in this game, once again, a hoe, you should want to fuck with a motherfucker that's the master of himself. A motherfucker that has self-mastery, that's not mastered by anything, you know? Because like I said, you know, tricks, they mastered by the spirit of tricking. You dig? That spirit of tricking has control over them. They can't control that spirit. You know, so when you're possessed by the spirit of tricking, you no longer have control over yourself in whatever situation it is, you know, that moves you to want to go trick. You don't have control over yourself. You being dictated by the spirit of tricking. You dig? And that's basically what it is. Whenever it's a situation of something that you have or something that you involved in, if that thing or that situation or whatever it is, if that has control over you, if that's dictating you, then you being, you know, you possessed by the spirit of tricking at that time. Like money, for instance. A lot of motherfuckers are controlled by money. A lot of motherfuckers are mastered by money. When, you know, you're supposed to be the master of the money. The money is supposed to serve you. You dig? When you use money, when you go to the mall to buy something, or when you go spend money on whatever it is, food, goods, services, whatever the case may be, that money is supposed to be serving you. But a lot of motherfuckers that call themselves the pimping, and even hoes as well, you know, you put yourselves in situations where you're serving the money more than the money is serving you. You dig? Like, let's say you got a young motherfucker that's supposed to call themselves the pimping, and he got a hoe or he got two hoes or whatever the case may be, and they stand in a hotel room or a motel room or what have you, and you know what I mean? When the day starts, he might have $100. You know what I mean? With these two bitches. You know, he got to use that 100 to pay for the room. You know, then the first trap that he get that day, he using that to go buy the weed. You know what I mean? That's a situation where he's serving the money more than the money is serving him. Because that's hustling backwards. If you don't have your own, if you don't have your own place to live, a house or apartment, condo, or whatever the case may be, and you not making no plans to put yourself in a position to have something like that, and at the same time as you not having plans to do that, and your money is short, and as soon as you get some money, you're using it to go buy some weed, that's a situation where you're serving the money more than the money is serving you. You dig? Now, if you got yourself a crib, you got all your bills taken care of, you know what I mean? You and your hoes, y'all got everything that y'all need. You know, all your priorities is in order and taken care of. Then you treat yourself to some weed. In that case, you know what I mean? The money is serving you more so than you serving the money. You dig? That's just like tools, for instance. You know what I mean? Like a motherfucker, back to, you know, that young pimp that's staying in that motel. He might have a certain car, you know what I mean, that he been wanting for a long time. It might be a Range Rover or whatever the case may be. You dig? And once again, he don't have his own place to live. He living day to day in this motel. And the note on this Range Rover is like $1,000 a month. And the insurance on that motherfucker is like $400 a month. You did, because he young, he probably got some tickets on his shit, you know what I mean? So his the insurance is through the roof for him, you know what I mean? That's a situation where he's serving the money and he's serving that Range Rover more so than the Range Rover is serving him. The Range Rover is supposed to be serving him, you dig? But that's a situation where he's serving that tool. The Range Rover is supposed to be a tool for the pimping. He's serving it more than it's serving him. You dig? But like I said, once again, if it's a situation where this young pimp got some bands put up, he got a crib, once again, him and his hoes got everything that they supposed to have, everything that they need, all your priorities is in order, you know what I mean? And you paying for this Range Rover, then it's a situation where, you know, the Range Rover is a tool that's serving you as opposed to you being a tool that's serving this Range Rover. You dig? But like I said, if you serving the money more than the money is serving you, if you serving this tool more than it's serving you, then you being dictated and governed by the spirit of tricking. You a trick for this Range Rover. You a trick for this money. You a trick for these drugs or this alcohol, whatever the case may be. I seen motherfuckers that have been tricks for the Gucci store. You dig? A motherfucker that's living in a motel, ain't got no money stacked up, got these hoes down, going hard, paying the shit out of them, and as soon as he get a trap, motherfucker at the Gucci store, or the Louis store, or the Versace store, or whatever the case may be, Ferragamo store, spending the whole trap and doing this every day for weeks and months. You know what I mean? You being a trick to the motherfucking Gucci store, the Louis store. Motherfuckers in the Ferragamo store see your ass coming, like, oh yeah, here come, you know, one of our favorite tricks. You know what I mean? Splurge to P. Hey, Splurge to P, what's going on? How you doing? You know what I mean? Glad you could do business with us yet again today. You know what I mean? For the sixth time this week. Boy, we love to see you coming. You know what I mean? That's a situation where you a trick to the Ferragamo store. You know what I mean? You serving that situation more than it's serving you. You dig? So as a hoe in the game, you should be interested more so in a motherfucker that got their priorities in order. You know what I mean? More so in a motherfucker that got a game plan. You know, more so in a motherfucker that's not gonna be a trick. You know, all that shit look cool. You know what I mean? This motherfucker might be flexing on the gram and stunting like a motherfucker, but if you was to know what was going on behind the scenes, you'd be like, damn, this motherfucker's a fuck up. This motherfucker got their priorities all mixed up, all twisted up. So as a whole in the game, you should be interested in the motherfucker that's more, this more so operating as a man. You dig? More so operating as the pimping. Pimping ain't gonna be a trick for nobody. You dig? Like me myself, I don't know how to be a trick for for anything. I'm not governed by the spirit of tricking. I'm fully in tune with the spirit of pimping. You dig? And as a lot of y'all probably seen Gorgeous Drake talk about on this Daily Fire a week or two ago, the pimping has dominion over himself. And that's something that you should be interested in as a young lady in this game, as a hoe in this game, when you looking to choose somebody in this game. The pimping, dominion, not controlled by outside forces and things. You dig? Another thing that a lot of motherfuckers is governed by, that they a trick for, is them drugs. You know what I mean? Back to that young pimp that's living day to day in a motel. If he's spending more money on the lean, or if he's spending more money on the nose candy, or the pills, or whatever the case, you know what I mean, the alcohol, the weed, if a motherfucker is spending more money on that, then making sure that y'all's situation elevates, then he's being a trick for them substances. You dig? He's being controlled by that shit. Some motherfuckers is being controlled by gambling. Some motherfuckers being controlled by tricking. You got motherfuckers in the game that really will take this hoe's trap and spend it to fuck on this hoe. Get this bitch to trap in order to fuck on her. You know what I mean? Shit is crazy. Raygun 34, much appreciated. But you want to fuck with somebody that has dominion over himself, somebody who's the master of himself, somebody who stands on principles, somebody with character that's not going to compromise this character, somebody who's consistent no matter what the circumstance is. You dig? See, a lot of bitches be choosing circumstances and situations, and as I say all the time, more important than the situation that the man is in is the man in the situation. You need to pay close attention to the man in the situation. You need to pay attention to whether or not he's consistent with himself despite the situation. Because you got a lot of motherfuckers that change with the situation. You dig? Like I've said before, you got a lot of motherfuckers that got a cool situation, and they might pop it, and they might seem real confident, and they might seem like they really feeling themselves. But that confidence rides on the wave of the situation. You dig? That's not real confidence. Real confidence stands alone. Real confidence is independent of whatever the situation is. You dig? And that's the pimping. Because we all go through ups and downs in this game, but is that man gonna be consistent? You dig? Zaire Phoenix, much appreciated. You want to fuck with somebody that's consistent in who he is as a man and as a pimp. You dig? So like I say, you want to fuck with somebody that, is fly. Somebody that's fly from the inside out, not from the outside in. Not a motherfucker that just look fly. You dig? You got motherfuckers that look like this, they might dress like this, and so on and so forth. But like I said, they go eat something and they spilling shit all over their clothes, and now they got ketchup stains and mustard stains all over their suit. You know what I mean? A pimp like me, I'm gonna have some etiquette and class. When I go to eat something, you know what I mean? I'm making sure that I don't spill nothing on this shit, you dig? A motherfucker is just, classy with this shit. Fly with this shit. You shouldn't want to choose anything less than that. Somebody who has mastery over themselves. Somebody who has dominion over themselves. That's not being dictated by outside forces. That's what you want to fuck with. You know what I mean? Somebody that's not governed by the spirit of tricking. Let me read a few of y'all's questions or comments. I imagine some of y'all probably got questions, but I haven't really been keeping up with the comments. See, like what I'm looking at right now in these comments, right? What I'm looking at in these comments, what I see the trolls. You dig? See, like I said, this is an example of dominion, mastery of self. I'm focused right now. I'm like this. You dig? Somebody who has mastery of self, dominion over themselves, stays like this. You know, somebody might be complimenting the shit out of me on this side. You know, I'm gonna acknowledge it and appreciate it, but I'm gonna stay like this. I'm not gonna get so sidetracked, you know what I mean? Because while this person might be genuine, at the same time, it's a possibility that they got something up their sleeve. But whatever the case, you don't ever want to get sidetracked from your focus. So this person might be complimenting me over here. You know, I might thank him or whatever the case may be, but I'm going to stay like this. And just as well, it might be a motherfucker cursing me on this side. I'm going to stay like this. I'm going to totally ignore this person cursing me on this side and stay like this. I'm not going to get off track and start arguing with this motherfucker. I'm not going to get off track and start, you know, basking in the praise of this motherfucker over here. Pimp going to stay like this. You dig? A person who has dominion over themselves, mastery of themselves, gonna stay like this. You got to stay focused. Another thing that young ladies in the game, as a young lady and a hoe in this game, another thing you should be interested in is somebody who has discipline. Self-discipline. You dig? Once again, like I said, pimp got receipts. You know what I mean? I done been in situations with, you know, everybody in the environment is drinking. And they might offer me some alcohol. You know, but by me being somebody who has dominion over myself and somebody who's very highly self-disciplined, you know, I can resist the temptation of that. And I'm not bothered by the fact that everybody around me is intoxicated. You dig? I'm intoxicated my damn self. But see, my intoxication don't fade. My intoxication don't wear off, you dig? The spirit of this pimpin' keep me intoxicated, and I stay under the influence of that shit. So, you know, I got my own high going on. You dig? So, self-discipline. You know, I want to look a certain way. Like I said, I got receipts. You know what I mean? Pimp got yokes. These are the receipts. This is self-discipline right here. You dig? You know what I mean? I got yokes up under this shirt. Up under these clothes. That's self-discipline. I go to the gym every day. Go hard, pumping iron. You know what I mean? Self-discipline. I take time and read on a regular basis. I don't feed my mind a bunch of mental junk food. You know, I don't be on Instagram all day looking at different posts in the Explorer section. I don't be watching TV, love and hip hop and all that shit all motherfucking day. You know what I mean? I do these things from time to time, but once again, like I said, that spirit of tricking. See, that spirit of tricking, that motherfucker that's not governed by themselves, that person that doesn't have self-mastery, you know, they gonna be doing that all day. They gonna be feeding their mind junk food all day. You know, they gonna be entertained by the bullshit all day. They're gonna be watching bullshit on TV, watching bullshit on YouTube, looking at bullshit on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat all motherfucking day. You dig? Looking at bitches with fat asses twerking all day. You know what I mean? No self-discipline. You know, a gentleman in this game, the pimping, who has self-discipline about himself, he's not going to overindulge in the bullshit. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, pimp might treat itself to some junk food for the mind, you know, every once in a while. It's entertaining. You dig? Ain't nothing wrong with entertaining. But when you entertaining yourself to the point that you neglecting priorities, you know what I mean, then you lacking self-discipline. As a whole in this game, you shouldn't want to fuck with nobody like that. You should want to fuck with somebody that's highly self-disciplined. You dig? A motherfucker that's overindulging in drugs, overindulging in sleep, overindulging in the type of food that they eat, overindulging in, like I said, feeding their mind junk food, watching too much bullshit on TV or social media, whatever the case may be. That's an individual who ain't got no self-discipline about themselves. You know what I mean? But like I said, receipts. You hear the receipts in the way that I talk. I don't talk like the average motherfucker. You dig? Receipts. You know what I mean? The shit that's coming out of my mouth is a reflection of my mind and what I put in there. Receipts. You know what I mean? Turn to your neighbor and say, receipts. You know what I mean? Self-discipline. As a young lady in this game, you should want to fuck with somebody that got some self-discipline. It's going to be able to teach you a thing or two about self-discipline. Make sure you don't get off track. Because see, as we say all the time, whether you realize it or not, you're going to be a reflection of whoever it is that you call yourself representing in this game. So if you representing a motherfucker that ain't got self-discipline, then you're going to be a hoe in this game or a bitch in this game with no self-discipline. And that could be very costly. It can make you vulnerable when you're dealing with a trick. If you just imagine the possibilities of how shit can go wrong just in one instance as a supposed to be hoe dealing with a trick. You dig? Everybody knows that depending on what environment you in, which is most of them, most of the environments that hoes are in, temptation is in their face on a regular basis as far as drugs and alcohol. You dig? Now, you might be a hoe that sometimes indulges in drugs or sometimes indulges in alcohol. But once again, like I said, that mastery of self, that self-discipline. You know it's a time and place for everything. And you know that if you're doing this while you on a job, then it's gonna make you vulnerable. It's gonna make you weak. It's gonna make you susceptible to being taken advantage of. So you know not to indulge in that type of shit. You got self-discipline about yourself. So while this trick is trying to get you to partake in this with him or just partake in it, period, with or without him, you know better than that. Why? Because you representing a pimp who got self-discipline. And as a reflection of him, you self-discipline. So you're going to be able to resist this temptation when you're dealing with this trick. But most of these bitches that's out here ain't got no self-discipline because they represent a motherfucker who also has no self-discipline. So what they gonna do, they gonna get high with the trick. You know what I mean? They gonna get drunk with the trick. And guess what? The trick is gonna take advantage of their ass. You dig? Because just like, see, you gotta understand when you're dealing with these tricks, it's professional tricks just like you supposed to be a professional hoe. So while you trying to get the best of him, he's trying to get the best of you. That's why he might tell you that he only got $50 or $60 when in all actuality, he got 10 times that amount. And he'll give you that 10 times that amount if you apply self-discipline and from there apply game. See, the game don't work. You can have all the game in your head, but if you're not prepared, if you're not equipped as a young lady to administer this game, to implement this game, then it's not going to work. You might have all the game in your head, but if you're vulnerable and weak because you under the influence of these drugs and this alcohol, then that game is null and void. It don't matter. So this trick is always on his A game. That's what you got to understand. The trick is always on point. The trick is always trying to have the upper hand on you. You dig? But what you don't understand is he's still governed by the spirit of tricking. So if you in full form as a hoe, if you bringing everything good to the table that you're supposed to, then this trick ain't no match for you. If you bringing all the weapons to the table and the armor to the table that the hoe is supposed to bring, this trick is no match for you. And he's not even going to try to be a match for you if you do what you're supposed to do accordingly. You dig? And one of the key factors in that, like I say, is self-discipline. Being a reflection of a man who has self-discipline in this game. As a whole, this is what you want to represent. But like I say, prime example, I'm on the track last night. Some of y'all who seen my Instagram live last night probably got a little glimpse of it, but you know, I didn't show all of what took place on the video. But young lady down on the track, nice presentation. Latina, long, curly, dark hair. Got a little height on her. Nice curvy frame. You dig? More curves than a roller coaster, probably 3 times the thrills. You dig? She had her heels on with her nice little dress. Presentation's real cool. Looking nice and classy as a hoe. Looking like a hoe that's supposed to get a bunch of money on a Friday night. Last night. Now, as nice as her presentation was, you dig? I'm looking at her conduct, right? Like I say, whoever a hoe fuck with, that's what she's a reflection of. Zaire Phoenix, much appreciated. Once again, that's what she a reflection of, right? So pimping get on this bitch's heels. She green as a motherfucker. She don't even know how to conduct herself when she's being sweated. Which for those of y'all who haven't seen that video, I got a video on my channel called The Art of Staying in Pocket. This bitch obviously hasn't been taught the art of staying in pocket. Pimping sweat. First of all, the bitch green as a motherfucker for even, she was walking in the direction of the pimping. She walking towards us. You know? So pimping, you know, he kind of like met her halfway. He walked towards her as she was walking towards him. Then he get to popping at her and get on her heels and everything like that. And she don't know what to do. She twisting and turning, looking goofy and silly and confused and all that and distraught. So the only thing she knows to do is get on the phone and call Hector, the hoe protector. And daddy, this nigga over here sweating me. I don't know what So, you know, pimping, he see that, he fall back. He see the bitch again a few minutes later and get on her heels again. Once again, the bitch walking towards the pimping. Green as hell. But she green as hell because the motherfucker that she fucking with is green as hell, come to find out. Now, I'm sitting right here. You dig? The bitch is coming from that direction. Her folks is sitting over here. So he instructs the bitch to walk past the pimping to get to him. Game goofy ass shit. Now, you know, I don't know, to me it's just boyfriend shit. You know what I mean? When you want to flex and show, like, yeah, this is my bitch and all of that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, me, I don't like everybody knowing. I'm just a different type of motherfucker. And like I say, as a hoe, you should want to represent a different type of motherfucker. But as a different type of motherfucker, I don't like everybody knowing my business. You dig? Because I understand, like I've said before, the world don't like me as a pimp. They like homosexuals and everything else, you know, more than they like the pimping. The pimping is at the bottom of the food chain as far as, you know, motherfuckers in the world to like. We the worst. We down, they, you know, they dislike the pimping more than everybody. And I understand that. And because I understand that, I know that the more information you have on me, the more vulnerable I am to you being harmful to me. So I'm gonna let you know as little as possible about the details of what I got going on. So but anyway, back to this little situation. Uh, Pimpin sweat the bitch. The bitch walking towards where I'm standing at, and I'm thinking to myself like, damn, why is the bitch like she trying to get past the Pimpin? The Pimpin kind of like doing this because the bitch she done walked up to him, and he like doing this, not really letting the bitch. I mean, letting her pass, but not letting her pass easily. You know what I mean? But anyway, the dude get out the car, and he as the bitch get closer, he tell the bitch like, yeah, just keep walking this way. You know what I mean? And what threw us what threw us kind of off a little bit is the boy was a Mexican. You know what I mean? Now, no disrespect to the Latino cats or anything like that, but as you know, just as well as anybody who knows anything about the game knows, it's not every day that you see a quote unquote Mexican pimp. You know what I mean? But that's what he was, Mexican pimp. And he get out the car, sandals and shorts on. This is Friday night, man. You know what I mean? Me, I'm in full form. You know what I mean? It's Friday night. I'm giving a bitch the best thing to look at. This guy on Friday night, he get out the car. He got sandals on, shorts, a tank top, a sloppy ponytail. You know what I mean? He looked like somebody, and there's no disrespect to him because I don't know nothing about him, good or bad, but he just looked like somebody that the bitch is supposed to be dating. He looked like somebody she's supposed to be dating. But the bitch walks past him, and he tell the Pimpin that was sweating her like, "You good?" And Pimpin was like thrown off because and then the bitch went and got in dude's car, and Pimpin was like, "Oh, that's your bitch." He like, yeah, he like, "Oh, okay." So the boy, he walked back to the car, and I told him, I said, "Hey man, don't take it personal, man. It's just a pimp doing his job." And he like, yeah. He like nodded his head and then jumped in the car and smashed off. And I said it on the live. I said, yeah, we ain't gonna see that bitch no more tonight. And sure enough, we didn't. You dig? But like I say, pressure, challenges. You know what I mean? As much potential as that bitch got, as long as she's fucking with a motherfucker like that, and I'm not saying it because he's Mexican. You dig? Because I've seen motherfuckers that's black that call themselves the pimping do 10 times worse than that. And I've seen Mexicans handle themselves 10 times better than that. So I'm not saying this because he's Mexican, but as long as a bitch is fucking with a motherfucker like that, her hoeing is never gonna grow. You know what I mean? The growth of her hoeing is gonna be stunted as long as she fucks with a motherfucker like that, because he's not teaching the bitch shit. He didn't teach the bitch how to stay in pocket. He didn't teach the bitch how to even avoid situations that could potentially allow her to be sweated, like walking up towards the pimping, green as shit in the world. In the area where we was standing, everybody in the game knows that that's where the pimps congregate. So this is a place that a hoe ain't got no business going unless she's looking to choose. You know what I mean? But he would know this type of shit if he was tapped in with the pimping. But he obviously is a motherfucker that wasn't from around here, for one, and then two, you know what I mean? He's not tapped in with the pimping. You know what I mean? He ain't talked with nobody, that gave him the rundown, the layout of the area. So, bottom line, he's not teaching this bitch nothing. You dig? And it was evident by the way the bitch was conducting herself. It's evident that she's not getting pimped on. And sure enough, you see this motherfucker get out the car, looking sloppy and lazy as a motherfucker with his appearance. You know what I mean? It was obvious. Like when I seen who he was, the bitch was looking cool, but I know that by the way that she's moving, she's not representing no pimping. And sure enough, you know what I mean? The proof was in the pudding when the boy pulled up and jumped out the car, looking like anything but a pimp. So, but like I say, she's not being challenged in any type of way. The pimping is gonna challenge the hoe and allow the hoe to be challenged by, certain situations that take place in the game, like a hoe being sweated. You know what I mean? Me, I kind of, in some ways, I appreciate when my hoe is getting sweated, because as I've said before, it lets me know what type of bitch I'm dealing with. You know what I mean? If the bitch can't handle this type of pressure, then with some, and this is what I consider to be minor pressure. If she can't handle this minor pressure of being sweated by a pimp, then when the real pressure comes on, what can I expect? The bitch gonna fold like a lawn chair. But if she can handle this pressure of being sweated by a pimp, then that gives me a better idea of how she might handle some real pressure down the line. But if I come protecting the bitch every time she gets sweated by the pimping, then I'll really never have an idea what this bitch is made of. But like I said, as the pimping, it's a pimp's job to teach a hoe the art of staying in pocket. But obviously, this guy, he ain't teaching the bitch that. He not allowing her to be challenged. He's not challenging the bitch himself. You know what I mean? It looked like a situation that more than likely is, the bitches controlling things, because once again, like I said, look what happened when Pippin first started sweating the bitch. What she do? She get on the phone. Her folks, the boy that pulled up, the Mexican dude, he could have been doing anything. You know what I mean? As a pimp should. He could have been minding his business, doing whatever. But by him not teaching the bitch nothing, and he probably, got the bitch under the impression that this is what's supposed to take place. This is what's cool. This is a part of the game. If the pimp is sweat you, bitch, call me, and I'm gonna drop whatever I'm doing, and I'm at your service. Come because you instructed me to come over to this area where you at. I'm gonna come over there and I'm gonna rescue you. No, that ain't got nothing to do with pimping. That's a situation, like I said, that control. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of bitches choose over a motherfucker that's fly, over a motherfucker that's self-disciplined, over a motherfucker that has mastery and dominion over himself. A lot of bitches choose that control, knowing that she can call him instead of doing her job, but she don't even know. She's ignorant to the game, but ignorance or not, this is what's taking place. She's able to call this man and get him to jump when she say jump, and jump where she say jump, and how, and all this, that, and the third. She's obviously in control in that situation. Not supposed to be. So it's just a whole game goofy household going on. And like I said, we never seen the bitch again after that. And we riding the track the whole night. So because he's in fear of the pimpin' saying something to this bitch to get her to want to fuck with him, basically he's in fear of getting knocked for this bitch. He'd rather not risk getting knocked and, live to fight another day. Like, yeah, we just gonna stay in tonight. You know what I mean? I know you ain't caught a date yet. You just got down. But, you know what I mean? We just gonna stay in tonight. We're gonna try it again tomorrow. Matter of fact, we're gonna get on the highway in the morning. We're gonna go to the next city. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of rough over here. You know what I mean? So we ain't finna deal with all this, baby. Don't even trip. You know what I mean? We're gonna get on the highway first thing in the morning. That's the type of shit that goes on with these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And he might not even know. The bitch might have hit a lick. The bitch might have had thousands waiting for her, especially the way that she was looking. She was the best looking bitch on the track last night. But like I said, he's in fear of losing this bitch. And the bitch probably told him, like, Daddy, I don't want to get down over here no more. Oh, it's all good, baby. You ain't got to. No challenge, no pressure. The bitch is controlling. Come on, man. That's not how this shit go. Like I said, as a young lady in this game, as a hoe, you shouldn't want to be fucking with a motherfucker that you have control of. A motherfucker who you can instruct. Because if that's the case, then what's the point? You know what I mean? If LeBron James, he on the Lakers, you know what I mean? If he got to jump in the coaching seat sometimes and like, yeah, I got the strategy, you know what I mean? These are the plays that we gonna run tonight. If he coaching and playing at the same time, then what's the point of the coach? What's the point of having a coach? You know what I mean? LeBron James, he controlling everything that he does on the court, you know what I mean? But as far as the plays that's being ran and the strategies and so forth, that's the coach's job. You know what I mean? So back to the hoe. The hoe's supposed to just execute the plan, laid out by the pimpin'. She supposed to just be able to follow the instructions. But if the bitch supposed to be out here, getting money, and at the same time she got to instruct you when somebody is sweating her, and she got to instruct you when she don't want to get down and all this old shit, you know what I mean? The situation ain't going no damn where. That's not how this game go. That's why you got a lot of game goofy ass shit. And see, with the boy with that bitch, what he don't understand is he's creating a sense of comfort in this bitch with not making no money. You know what I mean? Some real pimping is not gonna allow a bitch to get comfortable not making no damn money. Bitch, I don't give a fuck if 1,000 pimps is out there trying to sweat you, bitch. You got a job to do. And you've been taught how to do it. You've been instructed how to do it, bitch. So do it to the best of your ability. You know what I mean? And if you're really on your job, these motherfuckers ain't gonna even have the opportunity to sweat you because you're gonna be constantly dealing with a trick. You're gonna be constantly catching dates. So you're not even gonna be out there for these motherfuckers to sweat you like that, bitch. So just stay on your job. That's the solution. You know what I mean? But like I said, these motherfuckers ain't got them type of instructions for the bitch. You know what I mean? All they thinking about is, they love the bitch. And I'm sure the little dude he probably took the bitch in and went and fucked on her. She's an attractive bitch. You know what I mean? I ain't mad at him for that. You know what I mean? But get a bitch to somebody else and you could just pay the bitch if that's all you want to do is fuck on her. You know what I mean? Just give her some money and you ain't even got to deal with the bitch after that. You know what I mean? Leave the pimping up to me. I'll pimp on the bitch. You know what I mean? This ain't what you want to do anyway. You really just want to fuck on the bitch. Let me pimp. And you could just fuck on her. You dig? Yeah, like I say, don't pay the trolls any mind, y'all. Never mind them guys. God bless their heart. They funny though. It got me to chuckle a little bit. 619 Capricorn, like I said, Freeze operate a little differently. I don't do the mods because I don't really be bothered by what these trolls say and do. They powerless over here, at least with me. Misanthropic Zombie says, chat has no mods and 90% haters. Damn. See, I can find appreciation even in bullshit. If it's 90% haters in here, and that lets me know that I'm doing something right. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers probably hate the way that I'm dressed. They probably hate the way that I got my hat on with the stocking cap underneath. You know what I mean? They probably hate the way that I talk. They looking for shit. They creating. You know what I mean? They constructing ways to hate and reasons to hate on me. You know what I mean? That lets me know that I'm doing something right. And they obviously not doing something right if they spend their Saturday night hating on me. You dig? It's something here for everybody. You know what I mean? If you want to learn, it's something here for you to learn from. If you want to hate, it's something here for you to hate on. It's something here for everybody. You dig? I'm facilitating everybody right now. Damn, I didn't realize it was this many haters in here. They is in here deep Saturday night. Shit. It's all good though. I am not tripping. Y'all are more than welcome. This is a place where a hater can be a hater unrestricted, unfiltered. Hate on all that you want. Cinder Portier, much appreciated. Appreciate the love. Damn, shit. I was trying to read the comments to see something cool, but shit. Now watch this. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna allow y'all to call in. Hold on. Okay, somebody, if you could, put this number in the comments. 818-857. I'm sorry. That's the wrong number. 818-331-8520. If you want to call in and chop it up and ask me something over the line, be my guest. Those of y'all commenting with the number, I appreciate y'all. Go ahead, tap in with a pimp. If you want to call and ask me a question, you know what I mean? Feel free, and I'll be more than glad to answer any questions. You dig? We gonna keep it sucker free. You know what I mean? We gonna keep it sucker free and see. One thing, as I say all the time, that can't be faked is character. You know what I mean? A motherfucker could dress like me. A motherfucker could try to talk like me. But one thing that they can't do like me is have my same character. One thing that they can't do is have the same type of mind frame that I have. You know, have the same type of nature about myself. It's certain things that can't be fake. Like I could sit here and tell you all day long about how I could play the piano, but you know, at some point in time, I'm gonna have to show and prove, or else you're gonna think that I'm a liar. You dig? You're gonna think that I'm fronting. But this shit right here, you know, you can't fake this right here. You know what I mean? When a motherfucker be consistent with this shit, when a motherfucker the same way all the time, and this shit ain't rehearsed. Like right now, I'm live. A lot of motherfuckers can't do this shit, go live and be live for an hour and just pop the shit the way the Freeze do. You know what I mean? Y'all know a few motherfuckers that can, you know, but it ain't too many of us that could do this shit like this. You dig? It's authentic, it's natural, it's internal, it's just, you know, it's just trained to go all the time. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Hello.
What's up, Freeze?
What's going on? Who we? Say what?
I said Freeze is it.
Indeed. What's going on? Who we got on the line?
Yeah, this is Carlos. I'm in that chat room and shit. Lightweight, very little.
My bad. I apologize. What'd you say the name was?
Carlos.
Carlos. Oh, I seen you in there. Okay. What's up with it, Carlos? How you doing?
I'm doing real good. Hey, you know, I was gonna ask you, but right now I'm out here fucking kicking it on this fucking shit. I'm in the city where I live and shit. And man, it fucking trips me out how a lot of this shit you said tonight, I see it out here. It's not even like in the same fucking track, but it's the same fucking, it's just how relevant the shit that you're saying is, you know?
Yeah. See,
a lot of these girls, man, looking fucking like real fucking trashy and shit. Like, they're fucked up. They look like just throwing some shorts and fucking came out here, t-shirts and flip-flops. Yeah, man, it's crazy. I see a lot of fucking shit out here that's just like, it blows my fucking mind. Because it's the shit that you actually have been saying, but it was, you know, from a different track.
Right. See, the thing about it is, it's not so much of a regional thing, or a geographical thing. It's more so a cultural thing. It's sad, but the truth of it is, it's just a part of the culture nowadays. You know, a lot of things is promoted. It's just, you know, just ain't cool. You know, one thing that's highly promoted in the game, you know, be it inadvertently or intentionally, a lot of what's promoted in the game is just comfortability and you know, not having to go hard or be intentional about anything, you dig? So that's why, you know, motherfuckers do that type of shit. Now, you know, I might do something like that too sometimes, you know what I mean? But at the same time, if huh? Oh no, I'm not gonna put the bitch down in flip flops. I'm saying I might show up to the track like that myself sometimes. But see, the thing about it is, you know, I'm showing my yokes off. So if I come in a tank top and some shorts and some sandals, you know what I mean? I'm trying to show my physique off, and not just that. If I come to the track like that, I'm coming straight from the gym. Because a lot of times I go to the gym that's like it's a over here where I be at. It's a gym like right pretty much down there on the track. So I go to the gym, and when I step out the gym, I go down the street and I'm on the blade. You know what I mean? So that's what that is.
I get the one thing that really fucking blows my fucking mind though.
What's up?
Like, what fucking bad is these pedophile kids, man. I can't believe some of the shit I see out here. I see fucking little young girls and shit like can't even call them bitches. It's just little girls, you know, and sorry, they're not out here on their own.
Nah, yeah, that's true. I hate to say it, man, but it's just a harsh reality of the life that we live, man. It is a lot of that going on, man. And one thing about it though is, you know, everything comes full circle. And what they don't understand is, you know, the laws and everything is getting more harsh because of that type of shit. And those same guys that put girls down, the pedophiles as you call them, most of the time they're not very smart, you know. But what they don't understand is the forces against them remain smart. They're consistently smart, you dig? So somebody like myself, I gotta operate that much smarter because of them type of individuals, you know, making things harder for all of us, not just themselves, but they making shit harder for all of us, you know. But me, I don't have a problem operating, you know, with wisdom and operating, you know, in a smart fashion. So I'm gonna be all right. But what they don't understand is that they're not gonna be all right. That's why it's a whole bunch of them type of motherfuckers sitting in the county jail fighting cases, you know, looking and smelling bad. You know, it's a lot of the motherfuckers ending up on the yard. Now, the fucked up thing about it is you got certain innocent individuals that end up, you know, mixed up in that shuffle. But yeah, it's just.
You know, that's like one thing, but another thing that's completely different is literally like little girls, and that's just like, damn, and this kid, what the fuck do I mean, you know, you can't do shit, really. I mean, can you? You gotta live, you know, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. I mean, you can't really do. It's a situation that you kind of it's fucked up, but you kind of got to let it take care of itself, which it is. You know what I mean? It might not be taking care of itself at the pace or the rate that we would like it to, but it is taking care of itself. So I mean, it's fucked up that it, you know, in the meantime, we got to see it, but you know, it's taking care of itself, and it's gonna come a point in time where, you know, it's gonna be less and less and less of it, to hopefully it gets to a point where it's just not even, you know, it's not even a thought, because motherfuckers realize, even if that's something that they into, they just realize the risk, you know, at hand is not worth the reward, so they just, you know, they just don't partake in it. Hopefully it comes to that point, you dig?
I dig that, man. I'm gonna let you be, man. I appreciate the time, and keep doing your thing, man.
All right, for sure, man. It was a pleasure, Carlos. You have a good night.
Yes, sir. Peace.
All right. Yeah, I seen a few of y'all was calling in while we was on the line. You know what I mean? Y'all can call in now if you wish, and we could talk. Here we go. Hey. What's up with it? Who we got on the line? Okay, what's up with it, man?
Hey, you know, I've been at it for about 4 years, right? And this one situation, this one thing that I just don't understand about the game.
Okay.
Why is it wrong for a kid to fuck on square bitches?
You said why is it what? I didn't hear your question, my bad.
You may not think it's wrong, but I've had some motherfuckers say to me that it's wrong for me to fuck on squares. And like I tell them, I believe that some kids fuck on their hoe, and some kids don't fuck on their hoe. Y'all look at it as a health factor. So I fuck on squares. But it seems like other pleas look at it like it's an abomination to the game. You need to fuck on the squares.
Okay, now, see, you and I have a different outlook on that. Now, you say you fuck with the squares over the hoes. One of the reasons for that is the health factor. Now, see, I have a different outlook on that because me on the other hand, I think that a hoe is the healthiest young lady that you could fuck with. You know what I mean? Because if a hoe is operating with true and proper hoe etiquette, then she's protecting herself at all times. As opposed to that square bitch who might go to the club, get drunk, see a motherfucker that she like, go back to the car or go back to the apartment or the room or whatever the case may be and let this motherfucker raw dog her and, do all kinds of ungodly acts with the bitch, you know what I mean, unprotected. That's a higher likelihood. I mean, you got both on both ends of the spectrum. You got bitches that don't protect themselves, but me myself, I just think the risk factor is higher with that square bitch than it is with that hoe. You know what I mean? But even beyond the health factor of it, uh, me, I just like I say all the time, man, I believe in the golden rule, and do on the others as you would have done unto yourself. And if I don't want this square, I mean, if I got a hoe representing me, you know, just like she don't want me fucking on square bitches, I don't want, or having relationships with square bitches or whatever the case may be. I don't want this bitch, you know what I mean, having relationships with a trick, you know what I mean, or being too friendly with a trick or anything, or having a boyfriend on the side or damn self, you know what I mean? Uh, like I said, I just believe in the golden rule. And me, I believe it's just serving justice to the bitch, not partaking in those types of things, just like I don't want her to. And then even furthermore, you know what I mean? Me personally, I like fucking hoes. You know what I mean? I like the fact that this young lady is staying loyal to me and going hard, you know what I mean, to make sure that we live in a beautiful lifestyle together. You know what I mean? Me myself, I enjoy fucking hoes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't enjoy fucking square bitches like I would enjoy fucking a hoe. You know what I mean? So that's my take on that.
Like, I remember when I first got in the game for like the first 2.5 years, right? Like the first year I was in, I was learning, you know what I mean? Because I'm not a product of my environment. I ain't see no other peas out here. I'm from Virginia. There ain't no other peas out here but one other one that I met. So, I was slowly learning, I looked at it like I was a gift from God, that I had these girls fall in my lap, I always spend some money. So when I had them, okay, after about a year and a half, I started feeling like I was getting the spirit of pimping.
Right.
I didn't want anything to. I came like born again. Like I didn't want to know how to swear the thought. That's how deep I was into it. But then
right.
After about 2.5 years, man, I was starting, girls looking at me, so I was like, man, I'm gonna go for this square ass girl. You know what I mean? So. You know what I mean? Hey, some people say that that's wrong. I still do my thing. I ain't gonna date her. I'm not gonna splurge this whole brain on her. I'm a finesse. I'm a finesse. You know what I mean? I might smoke a table or something. You know what I mean? Through party or something. You know what I mean? And get my family on work, but
yeah.
I'm it's wrong, man.
Yeah, see, like,
I guess it could be a 50-50 or, a 60-40. No. I know you say up here, though, but I feel you, though, Freak. I feel you, man.
Yeah, and then see, too, like I say, even furthermore, like, it's just so many reasons why, see, that's the difference between me, myself, and a lot of cats. See, a lot of cats will just say that they don't condone a pimp fucking on square bitches just because they heard somebody else say that and it sounded like it made sense. So, they basically perpetuating what they heard from somebody else. But see, me, like, I like to have understanding, of the things that the principles that I live by. And it's just so many reasons why I'm not gonna fuck on a square bitch. Another thing about it is, like I said, one reason why I like dealing with hoes is because I know that this young lady has loyalty towards me. She going hard to make sure that I'm living cool, and she's basically earning her place with me. You know what I mean? And that's a part of what she's earning. Now, for me to take that and give it to this square broad that ain't earned nothing with me, you know what I mean? And then at the same time, uh, like what's going on, and like am I spending gas money to go pick up this bitch or drive to her and all this old shit, or you know uh and even spending time, you know what I mean? Like if nothing else, you're gonna spend time with this bitch that she didn't earn, you know what I mean? It's just, and then it's the dominion factor, like we say all the time, you know what I mean, in this game, having dictation and control over the situation, you know what I mean? uh Me myself, I feel like fucking on that square bitch is empowering her in a way that she don't even deserve to be empowered. You dig? So
Now, I understand. Like when I had my little stable, right?
uh-huh.
I never had a problem at my girls. I could do whatever I wanted to do. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have no problem down. Now I know some other kids, they got their girls fighting for the top spot. So if Lane come in, all of them gonna be angry because they all throwing in this money for the top spot. To me, I never had no problem with that in my female. Another thing for me is I'm petrified of putting my dick in these hoes, man. For real, I'm just calling it like it is. I'm not gonna bullshit. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Because every kid is different. But just for me, I'm probably sure there's probably a lot of other great ones out there that they like me that don't do it. But I do understand why. Now I do understand why they don't want to fuck with a square.
Right. I dig it.
It's putting this currency out for her top spot with you. So she feel that she should get all the goods. I understand that now.
Well, it's not even so much, her fighting for a top spot. It's just her spot, period. It's not like she's trying to, be have priority over the next bitch or anything like that. It's just her earning her place, period, with me. You know what I mean? It's not so much to do with, other bitches competing with her. It's not a competition thing. It's it's a one-on-one individual thing that we got going on, and however many hoes in the household, we all have that same one-on-one rapport with each other. It's not so much of a competition thing. It's just earning it, period. You know what I mean? So.
All right, I got you. Appreciate you, Chris.
Oh, for sure, man. It was a pleasure.
What's that game, man?
Dig that.
Yes, sir.
All right, in a minute.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, Stockton Cali in the house. What's up with it?
Hey, what's up, Frank?
What's going on? Who we got on the line?
Hey, man, this is the third one, man.
Oh, okay. I seen you in there. What's up with it, man?
Yeah, what's up, man? I have a question for you, but first, I have like two questions for you, but first I just want to say thank you, man, because, like the videos you post, like I like the haters video, man. I really like that one. And like,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and like all the other videos too, man, they all like teach me something, But I wanted to ask you, like one time I seen you, like you posted like on the comment of I think one of like sinful videos. On the one where I first called in, dude was talking about like something, and then you said that he has to find his purpose or something like that. And then so my question for you is like, how does like a young male or a young man that doesn't really know what he wants to become or what he wants to be in life, what do you think that he should do to like, or we or he should do to like, or like to to like find his purpose or our purpose? Like a young man that still don't know,
right.
What become like.
I dig it. A big part of finding your purpose is just knowing what you want in life. And it's okay. Like, I don't know how old you are, but I could tell obviously you're a young man. And it's okay as a young man to not understand what your purpose is in life, or you still trying to find yourself. You know what I mean? It's nothing wrong with that. And what I would suggest to you is to just keep living. You know what I mean? And do your best to, as you live, learn from your experiences. You know what I mean? Because you're going to experience a whole lot as you continue to live, but just do your best to make every experience a lesson, so that you end up victorious in everything that it is that you're doing. Like, it might even be a situation where you go through something traumatic, or you go through something where you take a loss, or uh, or anything like that. You know what I mean? Ups and downs. You might go through certain downs, but as long as you get a lesson out of that down, then ultimately, like I said, you end up victorious. But as you continue to live and learn from your experiences, you know what I mean? You're gonna learn yourself as well, and you're gonna be able to figure out better what it is that you want out of life. And once you figure out what it is that you want out of life, then you could develop a plan around that, and you could figure out what your purpose is from there. You dig? So I suggest to you to just keep living, man. Just keep living and enjoying life, and you know, as we say nowadays, and I mean, live your best life. You young, so don't feel like you behind in some kind of way, or you falling short in some kind of way because you don't know what your purpose is at this point, man. You young, and it's okay for you to not understand what your purpose is in life right now. You know what I mean? But just keep living, and it's gonna come to you. You're gonna figure it out. You did.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that, man. And I have one more question for you.
Shoot.
Yeah, so like, like when they talk about like keep your mind on your money, or like only move for the money, or like, how do you think like that's, well, I'm pretty sure it's important, but how does one like constantly keep that in mind, like, or like what are things that somebody can, like, that I can do to them, or I don't know if I should do that. I think I should, because like I think money is important. But do you have like any advice on that, or is that like involved like?
You said moving for the money or keeping money on your mind, you talking about?
Yeah.
Well, like I was just saying earlier in the video, I don't know when you came in, but well, I think I seen you earlier in the video, but I was basically speaking on not being dictated and governed by your assets, tools, or money. You dig? So when it comes to money, you don't want to be dictated. You don't want to be served by it. And if you have the mindset of, I'm only gonna move for the money, then that's a mindset this putting you in a type of position where you just, you being dictated by the money, and you don't want to be like that. Because when you the type of person that's dictated by money, and you serving the money more than the money is serving you, you neglecting a whole lot of other aspects of your life. This just as important, if not more important, than that money. You dig? Like it could be family, health, a number of things, spirituality, what have you. You know what I mean? It's a lot of things that people neglect when they have the type of mindset of, I'm only gonna move for the money. You dig? And you don't want to end up the type of individual that, because it don't even have to be a situation where you hustling, or you're an entrepreneur, or or whatever the case may be. You might be the type of person that work a certain 9 to 5, but this 9 to 5 is like killing you, though. You know what I mean? You might work this job, you might be putting in like 60 hours a week, you know what I mean, and you might be making some cool money and living a certain lifestyle, but it's a situation where you serving that job and serving that money more than it's serving you. And you don't want to be the type of person, whatever it is that you're doing, you don't want to be the type of person that ends up old and your whole youth was spent, chasing money. You know what I mean? Being dictated by money, being moved by money. You know what I mean? It's a lot of vital things, a lot of crucial things that you're gonna miss out on just chasing money. You know what I mean? A lot of us in this game, in the lifestyle of pimping and hoeing, a lot of us, you know what I mean, miss out on certain things like our children's childhood. You know what I mean? A lot of hoes and a lot of pimps, who have the mindset of, chasing money and serving the money, miss out on that child's first steps, those first words. You know what I mean? A child learning how to ride their bike, or first day of school, teaching that child how to cross the street, and look both ways before they do it, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Those are the types of things. Like, it might seem cool in the moment you chasing this money, and a part of the reason why you chasing this money might be to take care of that child. But, you know, when you get older and that child gets older, you start to understand, like, damn, you know what I mean? I know I was chasing this money to take care of this child, but at the same time, it's a lot of crucial things that I missed out on that money can't pay for. You know what I mean? Once them experiences then came and went, the money can't pay for that. You know what I mean? But you can always go later on after you done spent time, you know, potty training that baby or teaching that baby how to walk and talk. You can always go later on and get that baby some shoes. You know what I mean? But you can't go back and teach that baby how to walk and talk or potty train them all over again. You know what I mean? So that's just one example of the types of things that you could miss out on when you had a type of mindset of, you know what I mean, I only move for the money. You know what I mean? It's a lot of shit that you're gonna miss out on with that mindset. So you wanna try to develop a type of situation, or you want to develop yourself in such a way that it might not start out like that, you know what I mean? But you want to get to a point where the money is serving you. You know what I mean? You want to get to a point where it's serving you and you're not breaking your neck for it. So.
I just want to tell you, man, I really truly appreciate you, man. Really.
It's all good, man. I appreciate you as well, greatly.
All right, man. Have a good night, man.
All right, you too. All right. Damn. Hey.
Hey, what it is, man?
What's going on, man? Who we got on the line?
John. It's John from Florida.
John, what's up with it, man? How you feeling tonight?
All right, man. It's another day in paradise, man. I can't complain.
Dig that, man. I always like to hear, you know, good news and positive energy and shit like that, man. That's what's up, John. What's up with it, though? What's on your mind?
Hey, I'm listening to you, man. Honestly, I ain't even gonna stop, man. They remind me about way back when, man. When I was talking to the girl 3 doors down. But what's it called, though? I had a question, man.
Okay.
I was wondering, so, like, my whole life, I kind of been like a study bug, man. Like, I've always had my friends, and they've always been the ones going out and getting all these girls, and, you know, 9th grade, my dog going with all the seniors, and got 9 girlfriends at the same damn time. I get out of the, move to the hood, all them niggas, they all got girls, man. They ain't even stressing it, man. They from the hood, Barricade, tight hood, man. They, you know, they out here, man. They, you know, they got put them 12, 13, sitting there tagging the hoes, training the
Right.
So then, all right, so then I moved, and then, you know, I got my Kentucky niggas, and, you know, they got all, Louisville, they got all the swag sauce, man. They just go up to the girls, and, you know, blase, walk them home. Next day, pick them up, get the top, man. You know.
Right.
And then you show them your friends, and, you know, they tagging all the girls you know in the community. I'm like, damn. So I'm saying, man, hey, honestly, I just met this girl, right? I was doing this little project. I was working some dead end jobs. I've been getting my life together, man, learning programming. I just started working at the labor pool, man, you know, doing manual labor and stuff.
Okay.
And so when I was doing that, you know, I did that for 9 months, and, you know, every 3 months or so I would find a job, but I ain't got no car. But besides that, I'm just focusing, building my life right now. So besides that, I had got this new job as a mason. And, when I was working at another ICE project, bro, yeah, man, it's cool. I was working there, and you know, I got a job there. So, when I was there, you know, he got the cameras and everything. He's shooting for the season in the movie. So there's this one girl, though, she working for the video production crew. I'm like, bro, like, oh, man, like, I ain't gonna say it's her body, but it was really her mind, bro. Like on G, like, I could kind of connect to I was interested in the same thing. She was interested, like, nerdy stuff, like anime and comics.
Right. I dig
you
it.
know, she was really smart. Like, you know, she's doing video production for Vanilla Ice, and, you know, she's done social media marketing and digital marketing and stuff like that. And that's the stuff I'm into, you know, because I'm programming and stuff.
Oh, okay, that's what's up.
So I'm saying, though, like,
like, so I've been texting her on Instagram and stuff like that, and it's crazy because like usually I can get a girl and like, you know, no problem, man. But it seems like when I got a girl that I really like and she ain't no thotty thot, because like, you know, this girl that do my dreads and stuff, I was gonna tag her, but I was like, man, I ain't even with it, bro. Like, you know, she 19 and stuff, I'm 23. So I was like, it ain't because of the age, it's more because of the mindset that I'm like, you know, like y'all was talking about earlier, you know, girls go to the club and what they do, they go fuck a nigga in the bathroom or the car or the hotel room or on the dance floor. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah. It goes down.
You know, but I'm saying, like, I don't understand how cause I attract those kind of girls in a way, or not maybe I attract them, but maybe I just need to work on myself to where I don't know what I'm doing wrong where I'm texting these girls, cause my dog texted the girl, you feel me, for me one time, and I kept up. She was a virgin. I got the pussy and I got her for a year, man. You know, for my dog from Kentucky. You know, cause he was fucking all the girls in the community. One girl came back and she caught him with her. And she ain't like that. So I guess she was a homie hop, but she hopped me. I'm like, fuck it. Shit, that pussy
Right.
but I'm saying though, like, I'm trying to get past all them kind of girls right there and everything like that. You know, the ones that's, you know, easy and stuff like that. Because I'm trying to get this good girl, the girl that's with the social media marketing and stuff. And at first she was texting me back all quick and stuff. But then I said like one thing she might not like, and then boom, she taking forever to text back and this and that on the Instagram. I ain't even asked for the number yet because I had got her Instagram and I just been texting on that.
Right. Well, see, one thing you got to keep in mind, like speaking to Instagram, right? If you know, this young lady, by her being a female and her being on Instagram or just, you know, being on social media, period, she's got a lot of men presenting themselves to her in a lot of different ways. You know what I mean? Be it in the comment section, the likes, the DM, you know what I mean? And then, you know, when she moving around, you know, throughout the day, motherfuckers might try to get at her at the job, or, you know, if she go to a restaurant for lunch, or, you know, females is, you know, getting got at all the time. But if you pay attention, most of the time they getting got at in the same type of way. And a big part of the reason is because, you know, most of the time dudes, when they get at a female, the first thing on their mind is sex. And because of that, you know what I mean, a lot of dudes' conversation be shallow, you know what I mean? Yeah.
She a Christian, and I'm, you know, like I said,
right.
You know, these girls, so you're right though, because she did.
Right, but see, that's where you would have an advantage though, because you interested in more than just, you know, getting in bed with her and getting in her pants and everything like that. But despite the fact that she's a Christian, you know what I mean, it's still gonna be dudes getting at her all the time. You know what I mean? You know, vying for her attention. And what you got to keep in mind is, you know, like I said, they all come in the same type of way. You know what I mean? She getting presented with cornflakes all the time. You know what I mean? So you want to be that one that come with a different type of flavor. You know what I mean? You want to be the one that come with the Cinnamon Toast Crunch or the Cocoa Pebbles. You know what I mean? Just, you know, present something different to her. You know, like you already know the type of things that she's interested in. You know, like you said, she's interested in anime and things like that. You know what I mean? Maybe, you know, like just hypothetically speaking, when Comic-Con come around to the town, you know what I mean? Invite her to that. Yeah, you know, invite her to that type of shit, you know, or you know, just, yeah, you know, just go do something, invite her to go do something that, you know, that the average guy ain't gonna be, you know, invited, because see, it's a good thing that y'all just so happen to be interested in the same shit. But what you got to keep in mind is most dudes ain't going to be interested in the same things that she's interested in. And therefore, they're not going to be able to connect with her in the same type of way that you're going to be able to connect with her. You know what I mean? You already know the types of things that she's interested in. And it just so happens to be a lot of the same things that you're interested in. So you got to use that to your advantage. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Yeah, you got to use that type of stuff to your advantage. Then, like, you know, it's a good thing that you interested in more than just the physical aspect of her, because you're gonna be able to show her that, you know, because like I said, most dudes, they expressing, yeah, you know, they most dudes is expressing that to her one way or another. You know what I mean? And females, you know, they got intuition. So another dude might try to play the role like he interested in anime when he really not. She gonna be able to see through that type of shit. But with you, it's genuine though. You know what I mean? So you're gonna be able to present that aspect to her that the average cat ain't gonna be able to. So like I said, you know, she done gave you all the ammo. All you gotta do is aim and shoot.
So what about if she busy though? Like if she like legit busy, like she ain't playing busy, but she busy.
Yeah, she may very well be busy, but at the same time, you know, people make time for what they want. So you just gotta keep, you know, you gotta do your best to spark her interest. And see, you might not get the results that you want when you want, but what you got to keep in mind is, you know, we all got emotional bank accounts, and you could be either making deposits in her emotional bank account or withdrawals. Like you said, sometimes you might say something that she might not like, and you know, she fall back for a minute, she don't reply right away. That's a withdrawal. You know what I mean? So, you know, a lot of times when we not mindful of this, we, you know, a lot of times without even thinking about it, we make withdrawals, you know, when we should be making deposits. But if you're mindful of that fact that people have emotional bank accounts, you know what I mean, you want to do your best to make emotional deposits with her on a daily basis every chance you get. Even if you might not get the response that you want to get, you still making an emotional deposit with her, and she might not express it to you, but it's still a deposit, and it's that much more to the good. You know what I mean? So even though she might not be, huh?
What's the best? I'm sorry. What's the best practice to go ahead and you said giving emotional. You said something about emotion, giving emotional response or
deposit.
Yeah. What's the best practice to give an emotional deposit? Best way to do that.
Well, like I said, you know the things that she's interested in, so you gotta be creative.
I don't know what an emotional deposit is.
Well, like I said, you know, complimenting her. You know what I mean? Like, if you seen her yesterday, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I forgot to let you know, man, but you know, girl, I forgot to let you know, but I like the way you smelled, you know, yesterday. What scent was that you was wearing? You know what I mean?
Girls really like that, though.
Huh?
I feel like women, they really like that, dude. They don't be feeling like, oh, he just doing that because, you know, he trying to get the pussy or whatever.
Yeah, I'm just using an example, but you know, compliments could be, you know, emotional bank account deposits. You know what I mean? Or you know, just taking notice to things about her that the average person ain't gonna take notice to. You know what I mean? Like you know, digging in with her and trying to figure out, you know, what different types of anime she like. You know what I mean? Things like that. Those is all emotional emotional deposits in her bank account. You know what I mean?
Because my dog that had got that one that was talking. I told you about the one girl that was a virgin. That, you know, she had went over there and the other girl came over and stuff like that. She came to me. Man, I was right there when we was walking down the street, man, to go handle whatever we was doing. So I went across the street, went to go talk to her, and I asked her, like, when she started telling me what he said to her, she was like, man, he said something like, this is me talking. He said something like, oh, she had a pretty smile.
Yeah.
Boom. Like, that ain't it, but, you know, that, like you said, an emotional deposit. You know, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's just something that's gonna basically, emotional deposit is anything that's gonna make her feel good about you. You know what I mean? Or just make her feel good, period, about herself, or, you know, make her feel good in dealing with you and talking to you. You know what I mean? You wanna spark her interest to the point where she look forward to talking to you or look forward to seeing you and things like that. You know what I mean?
So I gotta stop texting her like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you gotta be intentional.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you gotta be intentional when you text her. You gotta be aiming to shoot. You know what I mean? You don't want to be shooting in the dark, or, you know, just shooting blanks or whatever the case may be. You want to be intentional about it. Keep your objective in mind.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I never really thought about it that way, man. It's good talking to you, man. I'll tell you one thing, man. You a smart dude, man. I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you too, man. It's all good.
Hey, but I'm about to get back to this code, man. I'm about to listen to you.
Dig that, man. I appreciate you calling in.
Hey, yo, have a good night.
All right, you too. Yeah. All right, now. Let me see some of y'all's questions, if y'all got any. It's funny. I see it's still a whole bunch of hating going on in here. You know what? I appreciate you haters too. This is funny. This is funny. Chad Bailey said, Freeze don't roast you. He give you game. Yeah, man, well, you know, when people calling in and they being positive, man, and you know, they're not coming with no negativity, why would I roast? You know, y'all might find some of the people calling in funny and everything like that, and it's all good if you want to roast or whatever the case may be, but, you know, I keep the positive energy. Now, if a motherfucker call in trying to roast me, you know, I definitely gonna fire back, you know, in kind if I feel, you know, inclined to do so. Or I just might not entertain them at all. But, you know, for those of y'all who don't know, Freeze does like to roast, and Freeze is rather exceptional with the roast. So I have no problem roasting anybody, you know what I mean? But I don't like it ain't really no fun if it's one-sided, you know what I mean? If somebody calling in and they on some positive shit and they really want to, you know, ask a question to be enlightened in a certain type of way, then it really wouldn't be no fun trying to roast somebody like that. Yeah. Carlos Pinal say, the pimpin' have an answer for every question. How freezes it. Yeah, you know, this is just, you know, when you govern by the spirit of pimping, you're going to be prepared for anything, man. I done been through a whole lot of shit, so at this point, I'm prepared for any and everything that comes my way. You dig? Pimping got to stay with answers, man. All right, y'all. Y'all crazy with the negativity. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I appreciate you for hitting the thumbs up. If you haven't hit the thumbs up by now, please do so. If you want to hit the thumbs down, I ain't mad at you. It's all good. I appreciate you for tuning in too. You know what I mean? With your hating ass. I appreciate the subscriptions. I appreciate you hitting that bell when you subscribe. I appreciate the donations. I appreciate the support in every which way that you come with it. You dig? I'm going to tap in with y'all in a minute. Best of blessings to y'all. Y'all be easy.